Guys, so it is no longer news that after Fubara, the suspended governor of Rivers State, secretly had a meeting with President Bola Tinubu in London. The reactions of that meeting has been exposed as Dr. Reuben Abati and the Arise News crew takes a deep dive into the circumstances surrounding that meeting and what the possible outcome is going to be. I'd like you to sit back and take a look at the word that has also sparked reactions on the internet, and we shall continually be here to serve you.
Reports are now saying that President Bola Tinubu met with the suspended Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara in London last week. Tinubu had left Abuja for Paris, of course we know this, on April 2nd for a 2-week working visit before briefly stopping in London. Of course we know he has returned. And in the course of this meeting, this London meeting was reportedly at Fubara's request as he seeks a return to office. Sources say the governor expressed willingness to make compromises to end the political crisis in Rivers. Insiders also say talks are ongoing with the possibility that Fubara's suspension could be lifted before the 6-month deadline. Well, I think this will answer a lot of questions if that suspension is indeed lifted. The questions as to appointment of sole administrators in local government areas, conversations as to the legality or illegality of the state of emergency in the first place. But Fubara has also come out to say that, to express his support and belief in the president and make it very clear that he wants everyone to continue to support the Renewed Hope agenda. So I would say this is possibly that phrase that came into play at the beginning of the situation of stooping to conquer. It looks like that's what the suspended governor is trying to do. Vimba, you're looking at me with lost eyes. I feel like there's a lot of thoughts there.
You will kiss the ring whether you like it or not. But no, on a serious note, this is not democratic process. Democracy is about institutions, and it's about institutionalized processes that ensure that there are checks and balances. There are rules and there are ways for things to be done. Now, state of emergency in and itself, as much as it can be at the request of the president, is a process that then goes through the National Assembly. We saw it go through that process. My question is, are you not supposed to go and appeal to the National Assembly, because that's the body that legitimizes the state of emergency? When we now put all of that power in one individual, that we now go and it's not even the individual I'm blaming, it's the people around him who are giving him that much power by feeling they need to go and start begging for what is rightfully written out in the Constitution to happen, then we have a problem. So I know sometimes we like to put the responsibility on the individual, on the president himself, but no, what about the sycophants who play into the script? They are endorsing this type of this type of system of government. Do they have a choice? Absolutely. That's why it's called opposition. That's why you're in opposition, because you're there to scream and shout and do what you must. The Naimet people who are protesting, it's not because they are mad. It's because they know that they have rights, and they want to reinforce and ensure the world knows that their rights are being infringed upon. Now, Governor Fubara, suspended governor, we've seen some are crossing the floor. The rumors are rife that, he's probably going to follow suit as well so that he can settle himself. So it's all just self-serving. And it's very unfortunate, because in all of this, you now see an administrator. I almost have to go to the Oxford Dictionary to find out what is the definition of administrator. Because administrator, I don't think is somebody who's supposed to be doing quasi-political engagement with organizations like CAN. Yes, he was there to stabilize the state, but all these other engagements that are now happening have very political undertones to them. So the question is, what are the conditions in Rivers State that have made Siminalayi Fubara realize that the only way out for him is to fly to London and kiss the ring so that he can secure his political future? It's unfortunate. It's an unfortunate assessment of where our democracy is.
Dr. Abati, this takes us to what she said yesterday about a one-party state. That hasn't left my mind since she said it, and it's looking more and more like it.
Yes, okay. We started again today with all this talk about opposition members dissolving into the ruling party and all of that. But I just wanted to make the point quickly that consultations are welcome, either between politicians or whatever group. And in that sense, the sole administrator in Rivers State meeting with the Christian Association of Nigeria branch of Rivers State. If you look at the timing, Easter ended, I think, on Monday. So it's within that context, reaching out to various constituencies and talking about peace, cooperation, understanding. It's a thing that anybody in that position would do ordinarily in the spirit of the season. As for Governor Fubara going to London to see the president, well, again, he's a politician. The president is a politician, and he is in the eye of the storm. He will look for help wherever he can get it. Before now, when Minister Wike had the media parley, he said, who is Fubara talking to? That he has not talked to anybody. Who is talking to who? So this may be, taking advice from the man who made him governor, as it is claimed, and then going to see the president to further explain his situation. What I suspect may well happen. Don't be surprised when this, controversial state of emergency is lifted, when eventually the president so decides that, the song that will come out of Fubara's mouth is on your mandate we stand. Isn't that how they sing it? And it too will just dissolve into the All Progressives Congress and say, oh, I'm so grateful. I've decided to go to APC so that it can have peace. And that is what, is very disturbing about this environment. That anybody that does not support the center and the ruling party, you're on your own. So he doesn't want to be on his own. So who else can he go to if not the president of the country? But let's see. Let's wait. Maybe he's the next governor that will go to the APC.
Maybe. And if do you think?
Cold outside.
No, first of all, absolutely, it is cold outside, and I do think he has been battered by a lot, right? A lot of weather outside. I think that no matter what side of this argument you are on, I think that if you look at this objectively, I think many people can see that Fubara has been treated unfairly.
So guys, the recent meeting between Governor Fubara and President Bola Tinubu in London is not only significant but emblematic of our long-standing pattern of Nigerian politics. Truth is that the optics of the meeting are telling. An overseas engagement away from the heat of local political tension suggests a strategic move, possibly for political realignment or high-level negotiations. It's not uncommon in Nigeria's democratic history for governors facing intense internal party crisis to seek alignment with the center, particularly when the president belongs to the opposing party. Secondly, Dr. Reuben Abati's forecast, drawing parallels with Governor Sheriffs of Delta State and others, is grounded in political realism. The truth is that we have seen time and time again that when political survival is at stake, especially in the face of EFCC scrutiny and inter-party wars, many politicians defect to the ruling party. It's often less about ideology and more about political insulation and future ambition. And in Fubara's case, the prolonged rift between former Governor Wike and the factional battles between the Rivers State PDP may be diving into a new political recalibration. Now, Tinubu, a master strategist himself, would likely welcome such a move. Yes, the truth is that it could weaken Wike's influence in the states, potentially bolster APC standing in the South and send a message of presidential reach to reconciliation. But let's not ignore the underlying message. Such a move will send to the public that in Nigeria, political parties are often vehicle of conveyance, not convictions. If Governor Fubara does join the APC, it will underscore the growing perception that the path to political peace and prosecution-free retirement lies in loyalty to the federal center, not necessarily to party principles or the electorate. And Governor Fubara's political future hangs delicately on how he navigates this moment. Aligning with the APC could secure his immediate political interests, but it could also redefine his legacy in Rivers State.